how long must we sing this song? Look, this needs to be said. This movement, I have been arguing with historians, socioeconomists, vloggers, bloggers, so-called experts on the Fed, experts on the market. Look, I'm not just an academician, though I am. I am a worker with a hawk and trowel in my hand for years. I have watched this culture be kidnapped. It needs to be, this movement, you are making a gargantuous mistake. As the contemporaries try to say, oh, this is the 19th, oh no, this is so different than the 19th. Look, the 1960s was an anti-war, anti-establishment movement. Does this have components of that? Yeah, but this is so much more. This movement is the 1930s. This movement is not born out of wants. This movement is born out of needs. This movement, look, this movement is born from hunger, from poverty. When we have a society that 30% of our children are living in impoverished conditions, what is wrong with this? Really, what is wrong? This is not the 1960s. Absolutely, not even close. Not even close. As I have termed what has happened from 1980 to present, I have termed it a long time ago as Mark McGuire swinging Albert Bell's bat. This is a cultural misconception, fallacy of lies on Balco. That is the metaphor that I have used. Look, this movement began, the ultra neoconservative radical 30-year movement was born on a freaking Monday night in 1980. It was born, no, not with the election of Reagan and the fallacy of there's a debt when there was no debt. No, it was born with some radical religious freak right where this movement is born, in the streets of New York City, in Manhattan, as he murdered Lenin. By the way, my beautiful, incredible designer daughter, who is down there in the middle of this thing, who, if you just think these kids are some freaking hippies, you are so wrong. They are go-getters. They are moneymakers. They are freaking creative. They are dynamic. She was conceived on that night. This is the movement of that culture. This is the counter to the radical conservative freaking movement of 30 years. The kidnap our military and turn it into the fake radical industrial. Kidnap our faith. Kidnap our dreams. Kidnap our hopes. Kidnap the great American experiment. Look, the soapbox of this movement, the soapbox of it is YouTube. It is the field in Utah. It is the grit of Brooklyn. It is the streets of Philadelphia. It is the romance of Savannah, Georgia. It is an open ocean vista in Northern California. It is the downtown streets of LA. It is YouTube. This is our soapbox. All of us participate. We can look. I coined this movement a long time ago, posted it. I've been arguing with socioeconomists, with historians. Look, politicians will never save this. I've been arguing with this. I've been screaming to nausea. Everybody's sick of listening to me over and over and over. If you think politicians are going to change a culture, it is the tail wagging the dog. It has never been that. Populist movements change politicians. Politicians don't change things. Masses change people. Look, politics are the reflection of you and I. Look, the Congress, the way it was set up, look, this revolution is the revolution of Jefferson, of Paine, of Hamilton, of Martin Luther King, of FDR. These are what they coined and dreamed. This is it. This is so much more than what the movement of the 60s is. So much more. This is born of poverty. This is born of hunger. This is born of a giant fallacy that has been thieved. This is fucking not, this is what, this is a movement against evil people. This is a movement about somehow kidnapping the American story, the American experience. Look, I'll read this. I want to read this. I wrote this a year ago. Oh yeah. I see post-ignorance as a pure art movement in the concept of art itself, in the concept of art as culture, in the concept that people are culture, in the concept that inspiration and influence are great historical artists, like Van Gogh and Malay, like Pollock's reference to Kandinsky, like Monet's to the sunlight, morning, dawn, winter, fall, spring, it is influenced by the invogements of the time. My look at culture and art as today, economic theory, popular culture, art of more reality, the lack thereof art, the mind of seeing when others for some uncognitive reason do not see. Everyone saw light from millenniums. Everyone saw a simple line from millenniums. Everyone saw electric color from millenniums. It is more per se than the artist. Monet saw the light. Millet saw the struggle. Van Gogh saw the line. Smithson saw the simplicity of the line and shape against the landscape. Kandinsky saw the election of color and shape. Pollock saw the color of dynamics in motion. But much more than that, they saw decades ahead of the truth. Their minds saw fact and truth. Their minds were strong enough to act upon what they understood when all others did not understand, not yet. They had strong backs and knew how to work. They were the purification of ambition, intelligence, education, smoothed with work ethic. I visualize and have for over 2 decades via my hawk and trowel, via my keyboard, via my paintbrush, via my cardboard dart throwaway camera, via my flip video camera, via my soapbox YouTube, via my websites is this: poetic injustice to the entire world, wars without provocation, pain without a crime, love without an artistic spirit, ignorance with a club, a big club. As the counter, what I have termed neo-ignorance is post-ignorance. I see post-ignorance like this, as a movement of pure intellectualism, in a broad intellectualism. Not I know history, not I know how to draw like a camera, not I know how to interpret, not I know how to incorporate, but I know culture, I know environments in the more exposed manner. I know economics, I know geopolitics, I know metaphors, good and bad. I know struggle when it feels like to be stolen in wealth and mind, artistic and benevolent. I think it is so important that this movement that has been born, that is born via YouTube, via social media, via the outdoors in Lower Manhattan. I think it is so important to realize that so many of the great movements have born in the more exposed matter. This is not astroturf like the Tea Party. This is pure emotion rising up. This is pure cultural society as we watch the social fabric of America unwind, as we watch the ignorance take over. Look, as we watch you fakes with your Botox, your fake breast, your fake stone on your houses, your paint with styrofoam on it, as your limestone mansions evolved into your gated communities of pure fallacy. This is a giant lie. The last 30 years is a giant fucking lie. The incorporation of America is a giant fucking lie. Corporations have always been part of America. They have been kidnapped. This is about a counterculture against greed and ignorance. Greed, as the cerebral cortex thinks and it makes dynamics, as the movement of Jackson Pollock right there at Washington Square, as the shirtwaist fire at Jackson Square, as the gay marches right there, as the assassination of Lenin by a radical religious fanatic. They are all born of the same thing. Look, the human mind, we are not beasts. We are not beasts. The human mind is a creative cerebral cortex that thinks of dynamics. That is who these young people are. They have watched the evolution turn into what you people have turned into, the non-thinker, the non-dynamic, as you go into turn into beast, and you play on fear and greed, the only 2 emotions you know. As you sit on Wall Street in your pompous, arrogant glass, as you attend a play, no, you know the play not means. As you have a book that is in vogue and you lay it on the table, though you've never read it. As you walk into the MoMA or the Metropolitan and you look at art and it means nothing to you, as it is a social status, as you are fake, fake, fake all the way to the bank. As the religious leaders preach from the pulpit, fake, fake, fake all the way to the bank. As the Wall Street bankers incorporate this fake, 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 as it is not performance, as they fail us. Look, the markets have been crushed over 80 years. These people do not get it right. They get it wrong over and over and over. Look, this is a populist movement of the masses of the ground. This is not the politician changing culture. This is the culture changing politicians. Look, politics, fuck those guys. Those phony liars, been incorporated the Murdochs of the world. All of them. You know what? You make me sick. This has nothing. We are the people of hard work. We're the people that had that long hair, that had a hockey, the construction worker, the maid worker 30 years ago. And our children were born into that as they worked like we worked. They worked as the girls had braids in their and flowers in their hair as they went to work as waitresses. As we've been smashed, we never gave up on this cause. Guys like me, we never gave up. We've always been there in the underground. We've always been strong. We have been freaking smashed down by Mark McGuire swinging Albert Bell's bat on Balco. Kevin Blanch.